Yeah, but it wouldn't be using your degree.
52% of them get a job that doesn't require them to get the degree.
But most jobs offer incentive pay if you have a degree. And 86%,
but then if that's the case,
86% of
Oh,
people
but I didn't know that because I'm a college dropout.
People with just a high school diploma.
That's only if you count the ones at the top 10% of income earners. So
that's not
not
true.
if you count
That's
humanities,
not true, and he made
not
it
if
up.
you count people that study in the social sciences. If you count medicine or you count law, that's absolutely correct. However, the vast majority of kids that go to college are not studying medicine, law, engineering, business, finance. They're studying communications, social sciences, or humanities, which are on the lower income ladder. So as I mentioned, we have 11 million job openings in this country right now that do not require a college degree. I'm guessing in this room that within 4 to 5 years, you guys would kill to be able to earn $80 to $100,000 a year. Yes. Do you know that?
Yeah, but they're going to with a college degree.
In cities, they're
or
offering
at least they can if they
and welders, electricians,
make good choices.
Wait.
I guess they don't automatically make that.
So I am so confused by what he's saying for a second.
He's an idiot. That's what he's saying.
I feel like Americans live in a bubble sometimes because I'm like, what? That's not
bubble
how the world? Huh?
Bubble butt?
Bubble world? A bubble world?
Bubble world? Ooh.
Anyways, let's
No, we'll see that later in the movie. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let's keep this going.
Right.
Entrance salary, $80,000 a year.
But again, 86% of people with a bachelor's degree earn more than people with a high school diploma. No, 86% of all people with a bachelor's degree.
But if you take out the top 10%, it's actually lower than those that don't go to college. So
but why would you do that? The top 10% exists. Also, I think this top 10% thing is
bullshit. The ones that bring that average so significantly up. But let me ask you a question. Do you think that there's any waste at all in the current college model?
Do I think there's any waste?
Yeah,
I don't think we need all of it.
Can you pause for a sec?
Good. What part?
Well,
yeah.
Daniel's right in that he is doing this the trades though argument, but it's just erroneous. And the trades don't even make the kind of money that you can make at a fucking college degree. Like, it's just so ridiculous. But yeah, Daniel's right. He's what do you call it? Shilling for the trades, but he's not even a member of the trades. He doesn't even have good numbers. Anyway. Wait, Bad Star, wouldn't you prefer to die by snoo snoo?
Oh, hell yeah.
You're not Bad Star. Shut up.
Hell yeah.
You're not Tyreek.
Oh, Tyreek. Poor Tyreek.
Somebody heard my name. Somebody heard my name the other day and they thought it was like LaQuisha or something. It's pretty funny.
Poor Tyreek got arrested.
I was like, God damn, I'd be proud to be a LaQuisha. Gee, that sounds dope as fuck. Wouldn't you want to be a LaQuisha?
Well, I would be DeQuisha.
DeQuisha? Does that make it more masculine? I don't know if I think it does.
I think La is usually ladies, right? And then Duh is usually guys. I think that's their format.
What do you mean there?
What?
Duh and Ja are
they?
guys, and La is ladies, I think.
For who? Who's they?
African persuasion.
You understand that Africans... Okay, you know what? I don't care.
No. Descendants of Africans that are now in North America.
So now they're like there's some kind of guild.
But I think the format is Duh.
They've all banded together to scam people in colleges.
It's Duh. No, it's Duh for guys. It's La for ladies. Sometimes Ja for guys. Jamarcus, you know.
Jamarcus.
Yeah, Dumarcus, Jamarcus. But if it's LaMarcus, it might still be a guy. So I don't know if it holds.
My physical therapist has an adorable South American accent. South African, excuse me. It's fucking so cute. I would fuck her.
Very nice. I guess we could keep going. As to answering to the snoo thing, yes, it would be great.
Okay, but then you
definitely the best way to go.
That is a good way to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's if you have to pick a way to die, that's the top.
I'm Emily. Nice to meet you.
Emily, thank you.
Earlier said that about 5% of college students are going into fields of like medicine, law, and engineering.
Let me clarify.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
As far as they are going to be able to get postgraduate degrees, so they will go all the way up and get their Juris Master, or they will end up passing the bar or becoming a doctor, right?
Okay.
So it's easy to say doctors, lawyers, but healthcare professionals, if you count nurses or people that work in healthcare, that number is closer to 20.
They needed their degree
so
too,
5%.
and they're making
who here
on
has
so
a
bad.
doctor? Can you like raise your hand if you have a doctor?
Like a medical
doctor? Yeah. like a medical
yes, I do,
doctor.
yeah.
Yeah, you do. Okay. 5% is still a lot of people, right?
Of course, but
Yeah.
that means 95% might not need to exist at the institution.
I don't think that's the takeaway. Just because 5%, which is still millions of Americans
Wait,
all
hold on a
across the
second.
board.
But if you were to say, hey, we only have medical schools, only have legal, we can get rid of gender studies, get rid of. So what's the contention?
Well, gender studies is actually, if you look on like the pre-law track, gender studies is a pre-law track. If you're going to be a lawyer, you have to study gender studies and other social
That
cultural
proves my point
studies.
that college is a scam.
Fucked.
Why would a lawyer need to study gender studies? Shouldn't a lawyer know the law?
It's a social science. The law, you think the law isn't inadvertently affected by social, cultural, and gender norms?
Of course it is, but shouldn't they first know the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the Federalist Papers?
We learned that in high school.
Okay, so what is Marbury versus Madison?
Ooh, get fucked,
in high school
Kirk.
for a really long time. I'm not trying to be a lawyer. Yeah.
So
I mean, high schools are like, it's public high school.
What was Brown versus the Board of Education?
That's for desegregating schools.
Okay, good.
Yeah, which Project 2025 wants to like defund the Department of
So
Education.
who wrote the Constitution?
Founding Fathers, 1778. I don't know.
It wasn't 1778.
I don't know.
Close,
Yeah.
You don't know?
What does that matter to the topic at
Well,
hand? When she's
It's a really debate pedophile question.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Because-
hear you.
Now we can.
Do you know how many people signed the Constitution? Do you think do you think it's 10? Do you think it's 20?
Mhm.
Do you think it's 40? How many people do you think signed the Constitution? It's such a debate
Well, but what
pedophile question. No one knows everyone's
Well,
name.
but the question is, what percentage of people who were able to write signed the Constitution? You know, that's the correct question. So anyway, I have two things to say. First off, this is the stupidest debate
It's very
prompt
dumb.
in the universe. It's just incredibly boring and stupid. Second, why is she going down the route though? Like the fact that the 5% is still a large number. Like what a
Because
stupid argument.
because he's trying to, I could tell you exactly why, because he's trying to minimize those who get a degree and are successful, but it's
I know,
such
but
a stupid path for him to go, because
yeah, I know it's stupid.
because
It's stupid,
even
but
if it
that's not
was
the way
that
you.
10%, which they don't have access to fact checking right now, even if it was, everyone here has a doctor. Everyone is going to need a lawyer. These people are important.
Yeah, but
10%,
no, I
even if it was
understand.
the 10% real quote, need to exist.
Yes, but
That's
but
the
what
point.
he would argue, but listen, what he would argue is then we should close all of the social sciences, which, by the way, is just a Nazi argument,
But
right?
also part
is
of
that-
what she's
it
saying,
is-
I didn't know that's a Nazi argument, but all part of what
No,
she's
no,
saying.
no, it's a
just
Nazi
real
argument
quick.
because, like, the idea. Listen,
No,
the
I believe
idea is
you.
that okay, there are 3 useful things to do, right, and everything else is useless. All the social scientists are useless. All of the arts are useless. You know what? Like, it's typical Nazi argument that you need to have. Oh, just the practical things. You know what I mean? But anyway, apart from that, but the point is, like, he would argue, oh, okay, yeah, we should close down all of the social sciences, right? That's how he would come back.
But she just
But
said
it's-
that some of those social sciences are required for lawyers, the top 10%, quote unquote, as
Yeah,
Charlie puts it. So
but
he's
then he would
wrong anyway.
argue they shouldn't be required. He would argue, no,
No, they are
should not
required
take-
and they're relevant, and that's part of her
yeah,
point.
but okay, but the point,
See,
the point I'm making
I
is,
think it further gets illustrated later, which is why I think I know that. Probably by
Continue.
her.
Church a scam?
What
No,
happened?
because church is honoring the divine.
Oh,
and the
shit.
infallible.
Oh, okay, nice. He's bringing up
Good.
religion. Okay, this is a good thing. Let's see
He
if
brought
he's
up
yeah,
able
because
to.
he's a freak.
You
No,
both spoke.
it's a good topic because he's a freak about it. So like he'll come off as a complete
Charlie
freak.
is?
Hypocrite. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
feel like he's going to be a hypocrite on this part. It's a good comparison. Okay.
No,
let's
I
see.
think he's gonna bite the bullet. He's gonna bite the bullet and say, we worship God and whatever, we lick his balls and stuff. So, so I think he's good.
That
He's
was the
gonna come
gayest
off.
thing you've ever said. I
I
lick
know.
God's
He's
balls.
no. I'm telling you, he's gonna come off like a complete freak.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm.
Unlike
wanna
you licking God's balls.
That's right.
But I'm kind of happy this kid brought it up. It's good. Let's see.
The good and the true and the beautiful is college.
But it deceives people
Picnic
because
and
you
you're
give a promise
beautiful.
of everlasting life, which you don't actually get because Christianity is contradictory.
You're such a
logically.
sniveling
Do you
child.
want to get into a theological
Mhm.
debate, or are we going to talk
Absolutely.
about college? Because
Both.
I completely disagree. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and we will have eternal life.
Okay, so how, if there is a perfect being that created the world, how could we exist in an imperfect world?
I'm happy to have this discussion. Can we go back to college though? Because do you think?
Oh my goodness, he's trying to deflect so hard.
That's
because
why he picked this format. Remember, we were just talking about that?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
this format makes him a winner. He gets to stick to his talking points and nothing else. Where he could be proven wrong, which is part of why he was freaking out when what's-her-fuck was winning.
Oh my god. Oh, he's so pathetic.
Yeah.
No, how? Oh my god. Oh my god, this is just proving
It's very pathetic.
Oh.
He's a debate pedophile. He really is.
Yeah, but it's so lame.
Yeah, he's a debate pedophile. It's kind of like how pedophiles.
Herring and a little bit of a rabbit hole. Tell me what that has to do with college being a scam.
It's definitely a rabbit hole.
College can be a scam for certain people. I don't think it's a scam for everyone.
We agree.
So for people like me, college was very beneficial for me.
For sure. Who is it a scam?
I'm asking you, based upon your definition of a scam, do you consider the Christian church a scam?
Of course not. It's giving people eternal life and teaches them goodness.
The church gives people eternal life?
I don't. We can agree to disagree. Also,
I'm not agreeing to disagree on that.
But we're not talking about the church. We're talking about college, right? So again, also,
he's getting shreked.
Church,
but it's a reductio ad absurdum. Do you know what that is?
Ask the question.
What's a reductio ad absurdum?
It means Harry Potter's magic, right?
That means reducing down to the lowest common belief, correct?
Yeah, so I'm taking
Am I right? I didn't go to college. I knew that.
I'm taking your particular position.
Let me ask you a question.
I didn't even go to college and I knew a definition of a
term. They're forced to pay based upon their particular denomination.
And today, do you pay to go to church?
Depending on the church.
No, you don't. Do you have to go to debt to go to church?
What?
In some circumstances, people do because they have to give up 10% of their income to be able to do that, which people
can't
afford.
Circumstance.
Well, they're LDS. You understand
just
a lot of
said.
LDS churches specifically require 10%.
Yeah, they don't require it.
The tithing, yes, they do.
You're asking mainline Christian.
Isn't there stigmatization if you don't do that?
Okay, you're good at interrupting.
Mainline? Now you want to get away from the LDS?
My questions yet.
I did say no. Church is not a scam.
I don't even think it's only the LDS.
College is a scam, and college is people are going into debt. They're paying a lot of money. But I want to ask you a question. You said it's a scam for some people. Who's it a scam for?
Yeah, for people who specifically aren't ever going to use it, never use any of the knowledge that they retain from it. Well, you say 52%. I don't think you can qualify 52% of people don't do that.
What number would you say?
For example, my job, that's not going to be recommended as an economics degree. Most economics majors are going to go into TikTok debating online. But I use the information that I learned in college in my job on a daily basis. I still use relevant qualities that are then used in my job later on.
What percentage of kids that go to college are being scammed?
I don't think anyone knows that. Because it's dependent upon an individual. I have no clue.
Shouldn't we try to find out?
Well, if you'd like to find some empirics on that,
should we try to find
I just
out?
Did. So 41%.
That's not a source.
Well,
can we
the
pause?
Education is a source.
I'm just really sour that we're even gonna play this game that it's a scam. He's never demonstrated that it's a scam, and let's assume for a second it's not a scam. And you want to go to college, but you don't meet the cut. You're not going to be able to finish college. You're just not very smart. Let's say, for example, you're Charlie Kirk, okay? And you try to go to college and you don't make the cut and you can't graduate. Was college a scam because of that? No. This is such a fucking disgusting debate pedophile line of logic.
But again, I think one of the girls brought it up that you have to put in the work to succeed and all that kind of shit. So
even if you put in the work, to be fair, they're gonna just to be super duper fair, there are gonna be, even if you put in as much work as you possibly can, there are gonna be some people that are just, I want to call it lower IQ, but it's not really an IQ thing. I just want to simplify it. But there are people that can't make the cut. They just can't do it. Just like there are people that aren't going to be cut out for the military. Okay. This doesn't mean that college is a scam. This doesn't mean any of the things that Charlie Kirk is trying to point to. And I think that it's clear. I think it's very evident that Charlie Kirk just dislikes college. He doesn't see the value in college, or at least that's what he'd have us believe, but that's a far cry from college is a scam because I wasn't cut out to pass to finish college and I don't use college in my degree. I make plenty of money and I don't use college. That's a far cry from college as a scam. And I just think that's really gross. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
of Education doesn't say 41% of people it was a scam for,
Hold
or that
on.
they didn't use any of the information they learned in college.
You are using.
So are you saying none of them used any of the information?
Can I say 3 words without you interrupting me?
Do any of them use
Oh,
the information later on?
That's
Can I say
rich,
5 words
Charlie
that
Kirk.
interrupt
Well, you've
me?
interrupted me multiple times.
Yeah.
So since
That's rich.
you say college is a scam for some people, it's a ballpark. For the kids that do not graduate, 41% that ended up going and not graduating, were they scammed?
No, just because you go and pay for a particular thing, but then you don't follow through with it, doesn't mean you were scammed.
Maybe they were
You
misled.
decided to pay for it. Oh, you could say some people are misled.
Do you
Some
think
people are
that every-
stigmatizing to these things.
do you think
but
that
some people are misled in the church?
Do you
And
think-
you never answered my question
Well,
on that because you're trying to
I did.
take that time down so that you don't have to answer the question
Well,
about
hold on.
Christianity because
So-
you know your worldview looks terrible.
Well, what about Christianity do you want me to answer? We're talking
Well, I think
about
it's
college,
false. Or because I was saying,
Okay.
is church a
He
scam?
thinks
If church is a
Christianity is
scam, that'd be
false?
predicated off of the
Okay,
idea that
but-
you're deceived into believing that
What
there's
a weird way
everlasting
to
life,
say
but
that.
specifically
You
from
believe that
Christianity.
again.
So Christianity has to be true. So can you grant that? What's the argument?
Christianity is true. Did the
What's the
resurrection?
argument?
You're going to let me finish 3 words in a row?
Appreciate it.
Okay. Did the resurrection happen?
I don't think the resurrection occurred.
Okay, I disagree.
What? Motherfucker, what? There is no proof. How are you gonna say you agree that it happened when you have no proof? You are
Stop.
going. What?
Wait. So here's the issue. He will win this argument. Kirk will win this argument because there were at the time. Wait, so he's talking about the resurrection specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the time, a lot of people were hung by a cross, okay? And then we have a book where we talk about, X, Y, and Z people witnessed the person went into a cave and then came back out of the cave. By those basic facts, I believe that historians appear to confirm that this happened. The problem is that we can't confirm or disprove, I guess, if you will, the supernatural aspects. But I don't think that anyone can disprove that someone was on a cross, they weren't dead yet, and then they were brought to a cave. And they stayed there for 3 days with the door shut. That's the problem that we're going to suffer here.
Okay.
Like, you can't disprove that. It's not going to happen.
Listen. Okay, yes, you can. Okay.
You can't.
all
it's
of
never
recorded,
been done.
if
Go ahead.
stories are things that occur throughout history. Stories are embellished. Stories are.
Well, not
let's
the
say,
Bible, obviously. Every word in the Bible is true, even though it's been changed hundreds of times.
Right? Exactly. And all these things occur over and over. And we can even view it as the telephone effect, where no matter what, as it goes along, it will always change to be better and better and all this kind of shit. Or it will be changed because some idiot decided to change something because of their own opinion or whatever, right? In just the mere fact that there is no way he can prove and no way we can disprove it, you should ever fucking say it happened. You can say it's potential. I can think of many different ways that people could have potentially seen that story and say that is what happened. The motherfucker could have died and had a twin who was there, who came to see him, and they saw it, like the twin. Oh, some people opened up the thing and his twin went in and came back out.
These are the claim is specifically that they witnessed his coming out from, right, and that the rock was too heavy, that he couldn't. There's literally no physical way that a human could do it. Of course, everyone's fucking stupid, and there maybe was some other hole, and who cares? But
if that's the case, let's say we can go with many different scenarios, right? I could say there was another hole in the cave, blah blah blah. They had followers to some degree who were there, who could have potentially just pushed the rock out of the way if it was too heavy for one individual to do it, blah blah blah. All these things, I could come up with endless ways that I could manipulate the story to come out to that way, but knowing that things could be done very differently and all that kind of shit, there is no way for me to disprove or prove it. So I cannot see someone saying absolutely it happened and then saying that because that happened.
I don't think he said that. I just think he said that he believed that it happened, that he disagrees with what's his face, that he does think that it happened, right?
I guess.
I think that's all he said. I don't think that happened. Well, I do. I think that's the exchange that just happened. And I think that it's fair for him to believe that happened because there are a lot of facts that historians agree with in the Bible because they're so insignificant. Like there was some guy named Jesus at the time. It was not an uncommon name.
And I agree with that. I agree there's definitely a possibility. As for the whole like death on a cross and then resurrecting, I'm sorry. Until somebody else on this fucking planet fucking resurrects.
Yeah, but nobody else
no way I will believe that it's a possibility, right?
That's what makes it special, right? Is that nobody else can do it. He was specifically the Son of God. He was the chosen one. In other words, their religion is the right religion.
Then how do they explain that a god died and then came back to life?
No, he didn't die. His physical form, right, was lost and then reclaimed by God. He was given a new one, or it was brought back to life or whatever by God.
Again, all of that.
Listen, I don't believe in Christianity, but the problem is that you can't make arguments against these that are going to hold any water, because for all intents and purposes, these events happened. The nail in the coffin is obviously going to be the supernatural claims, which we can't speak to because we've never been able to evaluate a supernatural event. We've never been able to confirm that which obviously leads us to be atheists because there's no evidence. But for Kirk, unfortunately, like we can't, it doesn't matter. We can unpause the video, but we can't disprove Kirk, and Kirk gets to have the opinion that it happened. Like there's no inaccuracy happening there.
Again, but this
not convinced of history correctly.
I agree with you to some degree, right? But at the same time, this is kind of falling in. He fell into the kid's trap of it being a scam, where they were all saying that like you can be scammed to shit by believing that it helped you or whatever and all this kind of shit. And that's the thing they should be hitting him on. You fall for a scam, but now you're trying to tell other people that they're having a scam when they're.
That's his point? I would be incredibly impressed if that's this kid's point.
I wish it was. I hope he does use that, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. A perfect creator, is it possible for them to not desire something imperfect?
A perfect.
Yeah, he's just going to keep it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay. There's a
Unfortunately,
that desires
he's a kid,
everything that's just perfect. How can they desire something imperfect?
That's why Charlie, the debate pedophile,
maybe they
chose to
know
go
themselves.
against him.
Maybe they want to.
Because he's a kid.
Yeah, I guess. Hold on, I want to back this up. I want to hear his fucking
do it.
his thingy.
I don't think the resurrection occurred.
Okay, I disagree.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Silence.
A perfect creator, is it possible for them to not desire something imperfect?
A perfect is a perfect creator. I'm sorry, what?
There's a perfect creator that desires everything that's just perfect. How can they desire something imperfect, flawed?
Well, because maybe they want to get to know themselves. Maybe they want to see their own creation. Maybe they love.
They want to get to know them. He's all-knowing.
Can I finish? Can I finish talking here? Okay. Maybe because God loved the world so much that his creation, which rebelled against him, given agency and free will, rebelled against them, then got eternal life, what we actually deserve, and then sent his son on a rescue mission to save us from that.
I just want to point out his answer was because
the bride
love.
Of Christ will save us from damnation that we deserve.
Pretty pathetic.
College is far from the bride of America. It's currently scamming the youth of this country and sending them into oblivion.
Didn't answer the question.
Sending them into oblivion?
How
Into oblivion?
God can do anything, so